one. We're live. Welcome, Uforia Legacy. How's everybody doing out there? Go ahead, unmute and say hello, everybody at the same time.
Woo! Hello.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hey, what's going on?
There we go. So Travis asked me to make sure we did something fun tonight to start off the call. So we're going to do We Wish You a Merry Christmas just for about 20 seconds. Ready? On the count of three. 3, 2, 1. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Still a Merry Christmas.
Wish you a Merry
Wish you a Merry
Christmas. A Happy New Year. It's funny. I totally made that up all myself. Travis didn't ask me to do any of that. Just, that was me being selfish. I just wanted to see you guys do that. Anyway, good evening, guys. Just kind of treat this like a TV show tonight. I think the more fun we make this, the more you guys are going to want to come back, the more you're going to want to invite your partners back and your guests back. And to me, Zoom is the new living room. For those of you who have ever been involved with network marketing before, this business used to be done in living rooms across the country. And for a lot of people, they still do this business in living rooms. In my opinion, I love building the business belly to belly. Anytime I can get right next to somebody and really just experience them in the flesh, to me, that's the most powerful way to build a relationship. But we can't ignore, ladies and gentlemen, we can't ignore the fact that this video technology just simply speeds up the ability to build relationships and build an organization. So without this video technology, without high tech, we're really going to have to go the snail route, the slower route. So we're taking advantage of the video Zoom just for everybody out there, just to get everybody on the same page. Tiffany McCormick is saying something here. Hold on, Tiffany. Hello, everyone, Tiffany. We meet every Monday. I want to kind of go through our weekly broadcast schedule. We meet every Monday at 6 p.m. That's tonight's Leadership Freedom Call. We meet every Wednesday where we do a business overview. And one of our phenomenal leaders like Tracy and Tina and Joe Gonzalez, I always want to call her Tracy, Tina and Joe Gonzalez, or Tiffany McCormick, or Travis, or some of our great leaders will actually do an amazing presentation for you to help you build your business. That happens every Wednesday. We got some feedback here, guys. If we can kill that, that'd be great. And then every Friday we do something really cool. I missed last week, and I'm mad that I missed it because we do a Friday social. We're at 9 a.m. Pacific. Everybody gets on the screen, and we just kind of just hang out. And I think that's so important for us to do. And then every Saturday, Ron Williams gets on and does a broadcast on Zoom. So, guys, if you'd be so kind, if you come onto the line right now, just go ahead and mute your line, if you don't mind. So, anyways, that's our system. That's our Zoom system that Travis and Summer put together for all of us as leaders and teammates to plug into so we can always be on the same page. We've got a beautiful Facebook page called Uforia Legacy, Uforia Testimonials, Becoming a Nutritionist, Uforia Science. There's multiple Facebook pages to plug into. But at the end of the day, it sounds like a lot of stuff, but it's really not that much stuff. Just get yourself plugged in one time. Know what your weekly schedule is that you can plug yourself and your team into, and watch your business grow from week to week. So my name is Michael Zappia. For those of you that don't know me, I've been in this profession now for 16 years. I'm your host for this evening. I get to introduce you to two beautiful people. I mean, really beautiful people. I've got tremendous respect for the married couple you're going to hear from tonight. They are a dynamo couple. They're dynamic. Her hair is blue right now, Tina. I didn't realize you were dyeing it blue. I would have worked on mine. I'm looking for purple next time. But anyways, I've been in this industry 16 years of network marketing and home-based business. Basically, let me just say it like this. I wanted to take control of my financial future, and I didn't want anybody telling me how much money I can make. I didn't want anybody telling me when I should work or when I have to work. And I just wanted freedom. Does that sound good to anybody out there? How many people would love to have freedom? Freedom to call your own shots. Yeah, that's right, Joe. Getting you out of corporate America. I know what you guys got going on over there. But freedom, to me, freedom is the most precious commodity that there is in the world. To be able to wake up when you want to wake up. To be able to do what you want to do. To be able to work when you want to work, as hard or as little as you want to work. But the harder you work in something like Uforia, the better you're going to set yourself up for complete financial freedom should you be so lucky to do so. So the name of this call on Monday night is called the Freedom Call. I love what Travis named it. I love the business partners that we have here. And we have some of the strongest, if not the strongest leaders in the entire industry, in my opinion, and the most highly ethical and integrity-driven people that I've ever been associated with. And it does matter who you do business with. So I'm not going to take up any more of your time because I really want to sit back tonight and I want to take some notes. There's a married couple on this team right now that is literally ripping the doors off the hinges. It's always great when you get to work with a partner, isn't it, Tina and Joe? Isn't it great when you get to have somebody to work with, even that person, especially that person you love and care about the most? You guys are truly blessed to have each other. Look at them, how cute they are. But really, Nicole, would you come over to the office real quick so we can snuggle like these two? And, but to be a married couple in this profession is like a dream come true. I'm a single guy. I built this business all by myself. Obviously, I don't build it by myself. I got lots of partners. But, man, I'd like to have somebody right in my own home to be able to bounce ideas and get excited and high-five in the middle of the day when you helped a couple more people sign a few people up. I just think that's exciting. And I want to let you guys know you're truly blessed to have each other. And I believe that's where the strength comes from in your relationship. You know, Tina and Joe's story is very, very funny. I just recently came aware of their story, and I love it. And I want to preface your story, guys, if you're okay with it. I want to share it because I love it. I want to preface your story with this. You never, ever know how you're going to be introduced to this business. And you guys just got to know that amazing things happen when people connect with each other. So here's the story with Tina and Joe. Basically, it was their niece that contacted them about P90X. They heard something that Uncle Joe said something about P90X. And she said, Uncle Joe, I heard you mentioned something about P90X, and just so you know, if you like P90X, you might like this other stuff. And what the niece did was send Uncle Joe some information. She basically said, Uncle Joe and Aunt Tina, you can really help me out if you would just buy the product from me. I'll make $30 off of you. I think that's so cute when you guys shared that with me. So Tina and Joe, as a nice aunt and uncle, basically opened up the links that she sent over about this health and wellness product. And Joe obviously did his homework. He started to read the policies and procedures. He started to really look into the company, and he realized, wait a second, this is a pretty cool opportunity our niece just haphazardly introduced us to. And that led for them to joining that company. Company's called Beachbody. I'm not afraid to mention the company for everybody out there. And for over 5.5 years, Tina and Joe built a team elite business, a top elite business, where they were in the upper echelon in that company. And 5.5 years later, I haven't got to the bottom of this with Tina and Joe, but we're going to do it on some crazy trip this company takes us on. But somehow they switched speeds to wine. They went from health and wellness to the wine industry, and then they built a top 3 position in that company. And then they stumbled upon Uforia, where I believe Tina and Joe found their home. They found their home, just like all of us on the screen found a home with Uforia. So Tina is not a college graduate. She calls herself a grandma that's glamorous. Look at how beautiful she is. I've always admired you, Tina. I think you're a beautiful woman. I'm not hitting on you in front of your husband, but you do have a beautiful wife, Joe, just to let you know. And guys, I'm just honored to be in business with you. Tonight, the two of you guys are going to share with us something that Eric Worre was responsible for teaching you, 8 steps of inviting or prospecting. And I'm excited to learn what you learned from them. But listen, every great leader in this profession has some secret sauce. They've got some things that they do that's unique and different for them. And that's why we all gather here once a week, guys, to learn from one another. And as much as you think you know in this business, there's always something to learn. So, Tina, I'm going to let you and Joe take it away and just do us a favor. Don't hold anything back. Don't keep any secrets. Whatever sauce you got, pour it all over the Zoom screen so we can all learn from you. But you guys are looking at 2 of the fastest builders in all of Uforia. And I believe 2 people that are going to be here at the end of the day, standing on top of that stage as rainmakers. So take it away, guys.
Hey, thank you so much for that, Michael. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Very appreciative of you and appreciative of this team and this opportunity. And there is no secret sauce. We're going to give all the sauce. We share it with everyone. I'll begin by, Joe and I will just kind of split up, parts of this, but please make sure you stay tuned to the end, because that's when I'm going to give up the secret sauce that you can't find in the book, because it's a mishmash of things I've learned from lots of leaders through the years. And it's about, does anyone ever get it to a point in a conversation where the conversation stalls, people stop talking to you, and you're wondering how you get that back in play? I've got the secret sauce there. But I'm going to begin with asking you this question. Gosh, and if you've studied Eric Worre, you're going to recognize this includes his favorite statement in all of network marketing. If I, would you? If we were to share with you that you could save yourself 5 years of struggle by reading, by ordering, reading, highlighting, applying, wearing this book out in execution, if we told you there was one book that could save you 5 years of struggle, would you get it, read it, study it, and execute on it? Show of hands. Eric Worre, studying, reading his book and attending his events it really just changed our whole game, 100%. Because prior to studying with him, Joe and I were, just getting information from our company, and we weren't seeing things from an industry perspective.
Right.
So I'm going to turn over phase 1 of training to Mr. Joe.
Yeah, and thank you again very much, Michael. Really appreciate the intro and the opportunity Tina said. And Tina's right. I mean, this right here, this will be the best $7 you ever spent in your life, okay? If you get this book, Eric Worre, GoPro, 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Marketing Professional. We have the good fortune of having Eric Worre as a corporate trainer for our company, which is unbelievable, you guys, because as Michael mentioned, when we started out, we didn't have real upline help. My niece didn't understand network marketing, but you know what we did? We went with our friends Mark and Jessica actually 5 so years ago to an Eric Worre event. Like Tina said, it opened our eyes. And this is one of the books that we have sitting around the house. You can see that it is bookmarked, it is dog-eared. I can show you that there are pages falling out. And the point is that we really live by this, and the secret sauce that I think that Michael mentioned, for me, the secret sauce is there is no secret sauce, because the point of network marketing, if you want to build a big business, if you want to get to that freedom level that Travis and everybody talks about, it's not what works for you, it's what works for everyone. And we're going to go through the 8 steps to a professional invitation, how to invite people to your opportunity. And here's the deal. I want you to write this down, please. Teach to teach so you can get to the beach. Okay? Teach to teach so you can get to the beach. That means learn to point people to resources. Learn that you don't have to be the expert. We don't have to be the expert. You know, this still sits at our side. And what we do is we just point. And when people say, what do I say next? Well, it's the next step. What would WWEWD? What would Eric Worre do? Okay, that's what we say to people, WWEWD. And it's to the next step. So, we don't always have to be, the expert. Dr. Brett is on our team. I never would be able to learn as much as Dr. Brett has learned about ingredients and everything else. I never will be the compensation plan expert. You want to know why? Because that stuff doesn't duplicate, right? You can point people to experts to understand that stuff, but what does duplicate is how to invite people to your product and opportunity. That's the key to this business, is learning how to do these things. So here's 8 steps to a professional invitation.
Number 1.
Number 1, be in a hurry, okay? People love to work with people who are in a hurry, right? You just create that sense of demand. We're gonna go through some of these. Step 2, compliment them, okay? Step 3, make the invitation. Step 4, if I, would you? That's a key term. Step 5, get a confirmation from a time. Step 6, confirm the time again, right? Make sure they're serious. Step 7, schedule a call. And step 8, get off the phone. Don't talk too much. Now, so let's talk more about each one of these things, okay? Step 1, be in a hurry. This is a psychological issue. People are always more attracted to a person who has things going on. If you start every call or face-to-face conversation giving the impression that you're in a hurry, you'll find your invitations will be shorter, there will be fewer questions, less resistance, and people will be more respectful of you in a hurry. And this is just your opening line. You know, maybe you small talk with them, right? You know, you kind of knocked on their door, knocked on their messenger or whatever and said, hey, what's up? But you just want to say, hey, I don't have a lot of time to talk, but it's really important that I reach you. Or I have a million things going on right now and I'm glad I caught you. I'm running out the door, but I need to talk to you real quick. You're in a hurry, okay? Always remember that's the first step. Step 2, compliment them. People love compliments, don't they? When you compliment somebody, you've taken their guard down, right? They're more receptive to listening. So this is critical. The sincere compliment, and it must be some sincere, opens the door to real communication and will make the prospect much more agreeable at hearing what you have to say. All right? So you're in a hurry, and then you said, okay, you've been very successful, and I've always respected what you've done in business. Because remember, you're setting them up or you're wanting them to take a look. So you want to compliment them. You've always been supportive of me, and I appreciate that so much. That's great to use with family and friends. You have an amazing mind for business and can see other things that other people's don't see. Okay? Now here's some cold market stuff. You've given me some of the best service I've ever received. You're super sharp. Can I ask what you do for a living? All right? Those are just examples of complimenting somebody to warm them up for about to ask them something. You're about to ask them something, okay? But again, it must be sincere. So go to their page, understand what they're about, a little bit, find something in common that you can sincerely compliment them on, okay? Step 3, this is where you're gonna make the invitation. Now, it's not one size fit all, meaning you know some people better than others, so there's gonna be some people that you know real well and you can make a direct invitation. Some people you don't know very well, so you wanna make an indirect invitation. So here's something of a direct invitation.
This is so important, guys, because so often people get frozen and aren't sure because they're like, I don't know someone or I know him too well. He's giving you the big stuff right here.
Right. And what you want to say for somebody that you know and you want to make it direct is you're talking to them directly about it, right? And you say, you know what, when I thought of people who could make an absolute fortune with the business I found, I thought of you. Are you still looking for a job or a different job? I found a way for both of us to start a great business without all the risks. I think I found a way for us to really boost our cash flow. Okay, these are all just opening lines. That's all these are. Now, here's something else that's important that I failed to say. When I'm saying these things, we call them scripts, okay? But Tina and I said we should really call them steps because it's step 1, step 2, step 3. And if you get the idea of what's behind each step, it doesn't matter what this says. You can craft your own that's very, very, very similar, right? Just the ideas behind this. But, by the way, Tina and I use what it says in here pretty much. So this is actually what we do. This is why it's in this book sitting next to us all the time. And we use it when we're talking to people because it's very focused and we can just, you know, point to it and know exactly what to say yet, okay? Now, here's some things for cold market prospects, people you don't know. Hey, listen, do you keep your career options open? Do you plan on doing what you're doing now for the rest of your career? So you're piquing interest, you're asking a question. And then an indirect approach is somebody who you're not asking them directly to take a look. You are, but you're not. Okay, does that make sense? You're going to go, you're gonna kind of deflect so that they don't know what you're thinking. So what you're saying is, you know, I found a business I'm really excited about, but what do I know? You have so much experience. Would you look at it for me if I made it easy on you and let me know if you think I'm making the right move? I just started a new business and I'm really nervous. Before I get going, I need to practice on someone friendly. Would you mind if I practiced on you? By the way, this is a great approach for family and friends. A lot of times I do ask people to do this one. Just go to your closest family and friends if you want to and just role play and say, I've just started a new business. I'm really nervous. Before I get going, I need to practice on someone friendly. Would you mind if I practice on you? Well, one of your family members isn't going to say, yeah, go ahead. What do you need me to do? And you're practicing your scripts and your steps. Okay. So, and then the last thing, what you're going to do is you're going to use that powerful phrase. This is step 4 now. If I, would you? You are asking them a question. If I gave you a link to our website that gives you the information, gave you a link to our website and the videos, would you take a look at it? What is that doing? It's helping people make a contract with you, because it sounds like I'm doing something for you, would you do something for me? Okay, that's an extremely powerful statement just to work into your invitations. If I, would you? If I, and you can use it in all cases. If I invited you to this webinar tomorrow night, would you attend? So you're not actually throwing them the link and sending them the link without making that contractual agreement with them that if I did this for you, would you actually take a look at it? All right, now here's an extremely important point. You guys are probably sitting there thinking, oh my God, Joe is reading right from that book. All right, here's the point. Yes, I am. You want to know why? Because reading is how we can take a brand new person. Miss Suzanne Rupp is on the line with us tonight. She just signed up 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes before this call, she signed up.
She's on this line right now.
Welcome,
so hello,
Suzanne.
and welcome and congratulations, Suzanne. So here's the deal. We can take a brand new person, point them to this and say, Suzanne, this is how you want to talk to people. This is what you're going to want to say next after this happens. This is what where you want to go. So just pick up this book, because you have to learn to teach so you can get to the beach. So the biggest secret that I can give you is to understand that not all people can see all the numbers and all the vision of everything and see all the ingredients. But you know what? Our job is to teach people and to duplicate. And this is what duplicates, is teaching people how to point other people to resources so you don't become the resource and get overwhelmed yourself. All right, I'm gonna let Tina take it to number 5.
I'm gonna do 5 through 8. And here's the thing, have you ever, with a show of hands, have you ever been called out? Like, has anyone ever said, oh my God, you're sounding like a freaking script, or you're sounding like you're, is this really you? Has anyone ever been called out?
Yes.
Raise your hand. I have been totally called out. Here's how you handle that. Dude, thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate you allowing me to do this. I'm brand new and I'm learning from the best of the best in this industry. And since I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just doing what they're telling me to do, because they did that and they built a multiple 6-figure business in 1 year's time, or whatever the case is, right? So let them know, acknowledge, yes, thank you for noticing. I'm following the systems, I'm following the steps. And that's telling them they can too. All right, guys, so step 5 is we are gonna get a time commitment from these people. We're not just gonna flop out a video. We're gonna ask, if I would you, when do you think you could watch the video for sure? When do you think you could listen to whatever the resource is, but ours is usually the video, right? That 3-minute video as a start. Don't suggest a time for them. Say, when do you think you could watch it? And then they're gonna answer. And step 6 is you're gonna confirm the time commitment once again. And this is where a lot of times partners will get like, icky, like they're like, oh my God, do I really want to confirm it again? Yes, just follow the steps, confirm it again. If they tell you they'll watch it, the DVD or the video by, this is written by a while ago, the DVD, by Tuesday night, your response should be something like, okay, so cool, so if I called you Wednesday morning, you'll have seen it for sure? And they're gonna say yes, and you're like, great, here's the number, whatever, you get that down. Step 7.
You're weeding these people out and making sure they're serious and not wasting your time.
So step 7 is confirmation number 3, schedule the next call. So this step is really simple. You just ask, what's the best number and time for me to call you after you've gone through your first. They'll give you what time works for best for them, and now you have a real appointment. All you have to do is be sure that you honor your word and be there at that time on the call. Step 8 is once you get through that process, get off the phone, get off the messenger, like, because you started the call off with, I'm super busy. I got a million things going on, right? Because you were in a hurry. So, by the way, the stuff that Joe sifted through in the book Go Pro was page 48 to 58. And then what I'm just flipping through here real quick is page 59 through 62. So you get off the phone. Pretty easy breezy, right? That was 8 steps.
And the reason you're getting off the phone is because you made an agreement with them. You don't need to talk anymore. The next call should be when you talk next.
Right on, right on. All right, you guys. So I know that sounds all well and good, right? And you take people through the steps. But if you're like me, you get a lot of times where you get some dead air. And what you should really do is take it personally. No, don't take it personally. If you're getting dead air, people are so busy. They have a million things going on for real, and they just dropped the ball. Have you ever like just been cruising down the road? And I know we're not supposed to look at our phones on the road, but you see someone left a message, you open it up. And so I'm going to give you some ways to reopen doors. But first of all, I'm going to flip through real quick about the follow-up. So we made an appointment, we sent him the video. Here's my timing and my sequence to following up with people and exactly what I say. I'm a morning person, so most of my messages are going to begin with, great morning. What did you like best about what you saw? So that's either in Messenger, preferably a phone call, but I do a lot of my business online. So great morning. What did you like best about what you saw? Totally different, by the way, than what did you think? You're looking to prompt a positive response. What did you like best? Then you wait, you get answer, and then my next follow-up is awesome. Let me ask you something. On 10 being, shoot me your link, Tina. I'm ready to get started. Where are you now based on what you know so far? I'm looking for a number. Anything 3 or greater means I have someone who's not a dead fish. If it's a 0 to 3 or a 0 or 2, 1, 2, I'm not looking to resuscitate life into someone. So as long as it's 3 or more, I am then going to say, great. It sounds like you're interested, but probably have a few questions. Let's set up a time to hop on the phone for 15 minutes. What works best for you? And this is when I'm carrying things on in private message. What works best for you? And you suggest 2 time frames, early morning or high noon. Or if you know your schedule is different, you say late afternoon or early evening. Give them 2 choices and then work around from there. So when you get an answer from them, you're going to get a general time frame from them, and then you're going to shoot your closer. And I use a closer too. It's great.
3-way closing calls.
Yeah, 3-way closing calls to have someone else edify you and be a third-party resource, so you're not being the answer to all things, right? So I shoot to the Joe or whoever's going to do a closing call for me and ask them if they're available, and then I go back to my prospect and I say, great. Sounds good. Here's the thing. Let's go for 7 o'clock. In fact, I'm going to see if my friend and partner will hop on the phone with us. So I haven't mentioned that there's a third party until this point. Hop on the phone with us. I'd like to introduce you to. He's very successful in building big businesses, and he is helping me and my partners get started right in this. Okay, here's the conference call line for us to dial in at such and such time. I'll message you tomorrow to confirm. So I'm confirming again. All right. So there's my steps, but I know in there oftentimes in between those steps, people just disappear, right? So here's my favorite follow-ups. Here's the grand finale here. When the conversations stall, and most of them do at some point or another, I usually circle back, by the way, within 24 hours, hopefully when that's happening. If I have someone who's disappeared for 24 to 48 hours, my first go at it to reopen the conversation is this. Because let's say I've said, what did you like best about what they saw? And they responded, but then they didn't respond to the next thing. Then I'll come back and I'll say these simple words. Did that make sense? And oftentimes, the funny thing is, that statement doesn't make sense in the context with which I use it, but it always prompts a response. They'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I got a million things going on, blah, 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 I was doing this. So then they'll give me their reason why they weren't talking. Well, let's say you send, did that make sense? And you didn't. This is after they've seen it and they've had some conversation. So this is like, if you send someone an invitation, they don't respond at all, I just keep moving and going, and I'll circle back to them at a later time. But if they've answered at any point and they're engaged in the conversation, my next thing, if they don't respond to, did that make sense, is like 48 hours later, I'm going to go in with this one. Hey, Sarah, I'm dotting my I's and crossing my T's. I have a million things going on today. Were you really serious when you said you were looking for, and then whatever you identified as their pain point or want, you insert there. I love helping people achieve their goals, and I don't want to drop the ball on you. So you're reconnecting them with their pain point, and then you're accepting responsibility. Gosh, I don't want to drop the ball on you, right? Let's say they don't answer. 48 hours after that, then I'm going in with, I'm pulling the offer off the table with this. Hey, did you want me to take you off my list? You would be amazed how many people are like, dude, don't take me off your list. No, I didn't know there was a list, but don't take me off of it. Did you want me to take you off my list? I surely don't want to bug you or waste your time, or mine for that matter. I just like to honor my word to help people get what they came to me for, you know? And if they respond, great. If they don't, then I just put them on a circle back list in, for a few months out. Joe and I very much follow what we learned as the pallbearers method. And the pallbearers method means no one really comes off of our list until one of us dies. So,
and become so close to them that now you're a pallbearer at their funeral, or vice versa, right? That's the whole follow-up system, everything that Tina was talking about. Let's put this together real quick, though, because I want to make sure that these 8 steps make sense, and then it goes into it. So, Tina, you play the second part, okay? So this is what you're going to do, and this is why it sounds like a professional invitation. You're getting on a telephone, and you say, hey, Tina, I'm running out the door, but I needed to talk to you real quick. Do you have a second?
Yes.
Great. Listen up. You've always been so supportive of me, and I appreciate that so much. I've just started a new business, and I'm really nervous. Before I get going, I need to practice on someone friendly. Would you mind if I practice on you?
Of course.
Great. If I gave you a DVD that laid out the information in a professional way, would you watch it?
Yes.
It's about 15 minutes long. When do you think you would watch it for sure?
I think I can put that on my calendar for Thursday morning.
Okay, great. So if I called you Friday morning, you'll have reviewed it already for sure?
Yep.
Great, fantastic. What's the best number and time for me to call you?
Da.
Great, we'll talk then. Gotta run, and thanks. Click, get off the phone. That was all 8 steps in that. Now, did that sound like a professional invitation, like you weren't really barging in on somebody, you weren't really being too salesy or anything like that? They're gonna take a look, they're gonna watch the video, you're gonna use then the follow-up questions and everything that Tina just went through. This is how it works, and this is what we've done for years. We're nothing special ourselves. Tina's amazing, I should say. But you know what she's really amazing at? Being a parrot and copying and taking action and just doing this day in and day out. And this is all it takes. No sales experience. Didn't have the background for sales. And she picked up this book and started using it and started using these steps and scripts. And guess what? It results in hundreds of signups over years' time and building big businesses because she can point anybody to this to take the next steps as well. So that's all we got.
We're so excited. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to share time with you here. And we want to see all of us, this whole team on stage in Vegas, having impacted a lot of lives. Thank you, Michael.
You got it. Great job, guys. I think the thing I like the most about it is how you guys read it in a way where you kept it so simple. And I don't know if it was I just think you guys make this business look like anybody can do it. And I think that's probably your gift. It's funny. My mentor years ago, he said to me, he goes, Michael, he goes, when you get too good at the business and you're too smooth, people are really going to look at you and go, I can't do that. Like, that guy's presentation is just too good, or that training he did was so impactful. I can't do that. And he used to tell a funny story. I'll share a funny story with you. He said, one day I got introduced to a crowd of thousands of people. And when I got to the microphone, they handed me the microphone. I just stood there and froze.
Mm-hmm.
And now Richard my mentor, was never nervous about anything, but he literally just froze on purpose until he started to look around the room and saw the thousands of people just kind of get embarrassed for him.
Oh. And
then he started to sweat, and he pretended like he was sweating and getting nervous. He finally grabbed the microphone. He goes, how bad did you all feel for me? it was so funny. He's like, how bad did you all feel for me? Like, you guys really thought I froze, didn't you? And he goes, I learned a lesson early on in this business. He was involved with Amway early on, and he walked into the marketing director's office in Amway, and he couldn't understand why he couldn't grow the business. He just wasn't successful. Hard to believe a legend wasn't successful, but we all got to learn somehow. And the marketing director said to him, he said, Richard, do me a favor. He said, do you know the compensation plan? Richard said, better than anybody you know. I do it better than anybody. And the marketing director said, okay, go ahead and go on that whiteboard right there, and you draw that marketing plan for me. And Richard started to do the circles, and you get this one and get that one. It costs this much, and sure enough, probably the best presentation ever seen. Marketing director looks at Richard and he says, exactly. That's why you're failing. And Richard said, what do you mean nobody does a presentation better than me? And the guy taught him a very valuable lesson, and I think the two of you illustrated that beautifully today. He said, Richard, you don't have to be the best. As a matter of fact, if you're so good, everyone's going to look at you and say, I can't do it like that. They won't even get involved with the business because they'll say they can't duplicate you. And from that point forward, Richard started to do the comp plan and say, listen, you all would have to be a genius to understand this compensation plan I'm going to share with you. I'm going to talk about one way you can get paid. And if that doesn't get you excited, nothing will get you excited. And he started to dummy himself down. He started to just keep the business super simple. So that's what Eric Worre really did for the world of network marketing. He created a book that keeps the steps simple, that keeps the inviting process simple. And it lets everybody step into the business and succeed no matter what your skill set is. And I love how you said, and you got it from the book, but I love how, and I've never read Eric's book, just so you guys know. All the training that you guys just taught me, I learned from my mentor, so it was pretty standard. And it's standard across the board, but Eric certainly made it spoon-sized and bite-sized for everybody. Yep. But I love when you basically said, listen, I might sound like I'm reading this off a script. I actually am. I just got started, and I'm so embarrassed, but if you just forgive me and let me read this through just so I can get through it. I mean, what a great way to get somebody to like you and listen to you than to humble yourself.
Absolutely, because every company, out there, every company out there actually gives their customer service reps or their, realtors or whoever, scripts and everything to read from and to learn from and to follow to go and learn their program for that company. And here's a real quick story. When Tina and I started out, I was in corporate America as a banker. I was doing, loans of $5 million to $100 million. That was my job. So I was a salesman for years, and Tina was not, right? And we were just, talking about, a healthy shake option and stuff like that and working out, whatever. And I'm thinking I'm going to sell this amazing business plan and all this stuff, just like Michael said. And Tina's kicking my butt in the business. Just, all of a sudden she's just signing up people and signing up people. And I'm thinking, I went up to her and I said, what are you doing? And she's like, why are you talking to me like that? What do you mean, what am I doing, you know? Because I'm trying to figure out what she was actually doing, and she thinks I was accusing her of doing something wrong. And that's just our language that we talk, and that's another discussion. But she said, I'm just following the steps they gave me. I'm just following the scripts. And so you know what? I started doing the same thing.
You really?
Yeah, I said, really? And I started doing the same thing. And all of a sudden, we both started producing, and all of a sudden, our team just grew and grew, bigger than anybody else's team within that existing team. And, you know, it's because it works. It works because not everybody can do all those things like Michael said. The only thing that works is what duplicates, and this is what duplicates. Following this, pointing people to this resource. We have to do it with our own team. Say, just go ahead and, you know what what do you say? The best thing for me to say is, you know what to say back to them. What do you think you should say? Okay? Go back to your resource, see what the next step is, and then they learned it, and now they know. Instead of us spoon-feeding and giving people, the only way you're ever going to teach to others, to be able to teach others, is to get them to the resources. Because if you don't teach to teach so you can get to the beach, you're going to have a job forever. Okay?
Yeah. Great stuff, guys. Great stuff. And we believe in every single one of you. So everyone who's watching this right now, you know, the only reason why Tina and Joe can be and look polished, because they are really excellent networkers, it's just because they put thousands upon thousands of hours into this trade because they wanted financial freedom. You know, Tina's goal was to retire her husband from corporate America, and she did that. And they did it all because they wanted it bad enough. So stick around long enough, guys. Plug into these calls. I promise you, within 6 months, you could be an expert. Get the book GoPro. Read as many books. Watch as many webinars, seminars. Get on every single team legacy call. And I promise you, this business is so simple, a monkey can do it. I mean, those steps you guys just talked about, put them on your mirror in your bathroom, put them on a big whiteboard, get on the phone and stare at that until you've done it so many times that now you don't have to look at the whiteboard anymore. And always remember, don't get too good at what you do. Stumble, stutter, trip on your words here and there. Do it intentionally, because you don't want the person that's watching you or listening to you to just think, I can't do that. 2 questions everybody asks themselves, Joe. Can I do this?
Yep.
And who's going to help me?
Yep.
So the answer for all of you watching on this team is yes, you can do this. If Tina and Joe can do it, so can you. If I can do it, so can you. And neither Tina nor I have a college degree, by the way. That we got something in common that we're very proud of. But if we can do it, so can you. It just matters whether or not you're willing to go out there and swing and swing and swing and swing. And when you love when people say no to you, that's when you know you made it in network marketing. I truly have grown to love no's. As crazy as that sounds. No just means I can cross you off my list so I don't have to think about you anymore, so I can move on to the next person. Because there's too many people waiting for you to share this unbelievable opportunity. So with that, Mrs. Blue Hair and Mr. No Hair, appreciate you guys. I think that was a stellar training, probably the best training we've had to date. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And I recorded this. I'll put this up on the Uforia Legacy page as soon as this uploads. Awesome.
Thank you, Michael, for your leadership.
Take care, everybody. Good luck.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Bye.